Welcome back to Scotty's Hobbies. So much has been going on, and guess what? CARB is over. There's no more smog in California. Cars are just driving around crazily modified, and they just don't care anymore. I'm just kidding, but I know that's what you guys like to hear. There's a ton of YouTubers out there just pretty much saying that, and you guys are just gobbling it up like crazy. But I got another bill for you guys. Like I said, this is crazy, everything that's going on. That everybody else is trying to repeal California emission standards, the waivers, everything. So there was another bill introduced into the Senate legislation March 14th by, I believe it was Senator Mike Lee. I'm probably wrong on that one. Who was it? Yeah, it was actually Mike Lee, and also backed by 14 other senators, Republican senators. It's called Stop California from Advancing Regulatory Burden Act of 2025. Now this bill is S.1072. Again, was introduced to Senate March 14th of 2005. 2025. I'm way off on that one. I'm going nuts. Like I said, there's so much knowledge to take in all this. And really, smog laws are not over. There's so much to take into it. So if you check out the video library, I already have some other videos like on the Transportation Freedom Act. What is it? SB 312, I think it was, 712, whatever it is, the Lino law here in California. As everything gets written in stone, I will be bringing you guys updates. Not all the hoopla of like I said, smog's over, CARB's over, you're free to do whatever you want. Nobody has to listen to CARB anymore. I'm not like that at all. I'm gonna give you hard facts. So what is this S.1072? Now this bill, two major things. It's going to rescind or repeal Section 209 of the Clean Air Act. Section 209 of the Clean Air Act is what gives California the waivers to enact or make up their own emissions laws and standards. So that'll be a huge thing right off the bat. This is another attack on the waivers for California. And let me get you straight first. I don't care what happens. I'm just bringing you guys facts and not all this hoopla. There's a ton of channels out there, a ton of people hitting me up. They're like, CARB's already over. The Bureau of Automotive Repair is going out of business. People are just walking out. The agencies are just shrinking. EPA is no longer funded. That's a bunch of BS, really. Nothing is going to change until it is written in stone. Don't listen to all that hoopla. It's just to get clicks. It's just to get revenue for them. And I want revenue and I want clicks, but I want real information given to you guys. So that's what I'm providing to you guys. Back to the subject at hand. 209, Section 209 of the Clean Air Act is the waivers. So S.1072 will repeal the waivers. Now, there's another section, 177. This bill would also rescind, redact, take out whatever, Section 177 of the Clean Air Act as well. Now, what is this section? Section 177 allows other states to get behind and follow the standards that California comes up with. So all these other states that are following the California mandate, I think there's 17 of them in total. There might be more, but there's other states that follow California emission standards. And Section 177 allows those states to do so. It's not that they're forced to. It's that your peers, your friends, your neighbors, and maybe you elect these people to make decisions for you, and they have decided that they want to follow the California emission standard. Nobody's forcing any of this upon anybody. So make sure you take that into consideration. When you're voting, when you're talking to your neighbors about everything, make sure you guys vote and try to make a difference. None of this is being forced on anybody. I guess it is kind of being forced on people that don't vote or that voted for somebody else, but that's what makes the difference out there. Voting, voting, voting. Now there's a lot to Section 177. Now, Section 177 was repealed in 2019 by the last Trump administration. There's a lot of things going on with that back then. And why are we worried about it now if it was already repealed, right? Well, when the next administration came in 2022, it was reinstated. But in that gap of time, the other states still continued to follow our emission laws and standards that are already following our emissions laws and standards. Also, California got the backing of automotive manufacturers, Ford, BMW, Honda. There was one other, I can't even remember. It might have been Fiat, and I really could be wrong. But other vehicle manufacturers came out and said, you know what, we're going to continue building our vehicles to the California emission standard. Well, the Trump administration didn't like that and sued them for, I believe it was like conflict of interest or something like that. I'm probably totally wrong. But the Trump administration sued the manufacturers for following the California standard when they had this EPA standard or federal standard. So what is the point of all these rules and laws if they just get changed every other time? And then the people, oh, there's CRs, everyone's gonna make CRs, they're not gonna be able to change it. Over time, Section 209 has been fought legally in Supreme Court. People have tried to pass legislation. Section 209 for the waivers of the Clean Air Act has been tested time and time again and has failed those tests. These tests, or this legislation, I should say, might be different. Who knows? If you're in favor for it, keep your fingers crossed. If you're not, well, keep your fingers crossed it doesn't go through, right? But I am here to give you guys real, true knowledge, not the hoopla, the fake facts. Oh, well, there's a million people that wrote the Senate and said they don't want smog anymore. Who cares? That doesn't matter. What matters is what has happened. You know the old saying, actions speak louder than words? Well, I'm going to bring you reports on the actions, not the words that people say. I once also heard, do you know how to tell if a politician is lying? Do you? They're talking. You get it? Anytime they talk, they lie. They want their constituents to vote for them. They're going to say anything they want or anything they need to get people to vote for them. Make sure you guys take that into consideration as well. You know what? If you guys are feeling like generous, go ahead and click the links below too. Send me a super thanks or like a PayPal donation. That would be awesome. I like money. But you don't have to. I'm just kidding. Well, hopefully this video is some type of informative to you guys. I am going to be bringing you guys weekly updates on everything. So SB 712, I think it is, the Leno's Law here in California. I'm going to bring out an update, probably shoot it tomorrow night and bring it out on Saturday. One new thing has happened to that. Also, the Transportation Freedom Act. Oh yeah, I forgot. The Transportation Freedom Act. That also could get rid of the waivers. But what made me lose a lot of respect about that bill was that bill is going through the Finance Committee in Senate, which I really don't like. Why is it going through the Finance Committee? I lost a lot of respect when I learned that portion of that bill. This S.1072, the Stop California from Advancing Regulatory Burdens Act of 2025, this is actually going through the Environment and Safety Committee, I think it is. Let me look it up real quick. Sorry, Environment and Public Works Committee, which is way more respectable than going through the Finance Committee. And if it passes, it passes. If it doesn't, again, March 14th, 2025, S.72 was introduced into the U.S. Senate. I'm going to keep you guys updated as it goes through. I'm going to show you proof through congress.gov. We have full team coverage. Everybody's sitting at their desk 24/7, just taking in updates about all these things. Like, subscribe, and share. There's going to be weekly updates on Leno's Law, the Transportation Freedom Act, and now this bill, the 1072, Stop California from Advancing Regulatory Burden Act. If anything else comes out, I'll bring you breaking news. We'll break into whatever. I don't even know how they do that stuff. I'm trying to be a little more dramatic because you guys like that type of stuff. But anything that comes out, I'm going to keep you guys updated. I will do my research on it before I start spewing false information to you guys. And I really appreciate you guys taking your time watching my videos. If you have any interest in automotive maintenance, brakes, smog, component locations, information, testing, check out the video library, please. I have hundreds of videos out there. Thanks for checking out Scotty's Hobbies, and I will see you guys in the next, hopefully helpful video.